Go to the planet Tython. There you will find the ancient ruins of a temple that has a strong connection to the Force.
Tython. Right. What is Tython? Where is Tython? Tython in Legends was a mysterious planet located in the center of the galaxy in a region known as the Deep Core. About 36,000 years before any of the events we've seen on screen took place, 8 gigantic pyramid-shaped ships appeared on 8 planets across the galaxy. These ships were known as the Thoyor. When the Thoyor arrived on these 8 planets, some of the inhabitants were drawn to them, boarding the ships, almost as if some strange force within them willed it to be so. The Thoyor took these pilgrims to the Deep Core, to a planet called Tython. Tython was similar in geography to, well, Earth. It had oceans and continents of varying climates. It was like an undisturbed paradise. It was here on Tython that these migrants would learn to harness that strange power that would eventually be known simply as the Force. Tython was a planet that was deeply ingrained in the Force. So deeply ingrained that should the balance of the Force tip too greatly towards the dark or the light, it would cause massive natural disasters. Once the Tythons, as they were now called, learned this, it became a foundation of their belief system. The Tythons soon established the Jedi Order. Not the Jedi Order, no, that wouldn't appear for quite some time yet. Whereas the Jedi Order believed in serving the light and shunning and destroying the dark, the Jedi Order believed that it was crucial to have both sides of the Force in perfect balance and harmony. And so the Jedi Order flourished for about 10,000 years, an amount of time that is almost double the length of what could be considered modern human civilization. In that time, the Jedi continued to study the Force. They built temples across the vast planet, settled in all the different types of ecosystems and climates that Tython offered. After these 10,000 years of relative peace and prosperity, the Infinite Empire arrived and attempted to wrestle control of Tython away from the Jedi Order. The Infinite Empire, also known as the Rakatan Empire, was firmly entrenched in the dark side, and it sought to bring all Force-rich worlds to its control. Obviously, with Tython being such a deeply Force-sensitive world, it was like a juicy turkey on Thanksgiving to the Infinite Empire. A battle for Tython ensued, and the Jedi Order eventually came out on top, ridding their beloved world of the evil Rakata. What should have been celebration, what should have been relief, instead became confusion. This was the first time the Jedi Order had ever encountered beings so blissfully subservient to the dark side. What they saw horrified them, and so their ideology began to shift. However, the Jedi were not all unified in this. Some were tempted by the power of the dark side, and so a faction of dark Jedi sprouted. This launched a violent and terrible war between the two sides. Tython, both its people and the planet itself, were in utter turmoil. When the smoke cleared, the light Jedi had prevailed, though Tython was so incredibly torn up and destroyed that it was nearly uninhabitable. Imagine if World War II was accompanied by frequent, gigantic natural disasters, and you'll begin to see just how destructive this Force War, as it was called, truly was. After defeating the Dark Jedi, the Lightsiders reformed themselves into the Jedi Order. They then left Tython, a planet now in utter ruin, for the planet Ossus. There, Tython would sit, slowly forgotten by most as the centuries turned into millennia. Eventually, after Darth Malgus and his forces sacked the Jedi Temple on Coruscant, about 3,600 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Jedi Order relocated back to Tython for a time. Unfortunately, constant warring forced the Jedi to scatter, leaving Tython abandoned for good this time. I'm interested to see what we learn about Tython in the upcoming episode of The Mandalorian. It's unlikely that most of these events will even be adopted into canon at all, but as Ahsoka famously once said, there's always a bit of truth in legends. So that was the history of Tython. I hope you enjoyed and learned something. Let me know in the comments below what you think is going to happen on Tython when Grogu and Din Djarin arrive. Please remember to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the future.